everybody, Fallon Fireblade here, and I am back with another glitching video. I know I haven't done one in a while, so I decided that, hey, maybe I should just start doing those again. I also noticed that I did a video a while ago about how to glitch up and down, and I think that that was a little bit unclear because for some of it, because not everybody got all of the parts about it. Yeah, that showed you how to glitch up and down, but I wasn't as clear about how to actually glitch things under the ground. So in this video, I hope to try to fix that. Don't know why I just lagged there for some reason, but whatever. Okay, so we are still using the Dragonspire Ruins here because, in my opinion, it's the best tool that I've found to be able to do this. So in the last video, I showed you how to go up and down. I said, okay, you just rotate on the bottom of this thing in the corner to go up. And you just keep doing that. And then I said to go down, you drop that rug and instead rotate on the top of the wall, bring it down, and go down. But that doesn't cover how to get over the barrier. So I'm going to cover that today. So there's actually a difference between some of the newer houses and the older houses. Like this one, for instance, it's newer, so there are a bunch of barriers everywhere, but in some of the older houses, there aren't always barriers on the side. So that's a major difference in the houses. So that actually affects what you're doing a lot because you need to know what you're doing to get over here or over whatever you're trying to build. So for this, let's say I wanted to glitch underneath of the spiral door. But of course, you can't just go right underground. So I'm going to show you how to get over a barrier. Now, you just use the technique that I showed you before for going up, but you have to go over the barrier first before you can go down. And for us, the barrier is a very tall stone wall over here. Nope, still there. And you just keep going up until you eventually get over the barrier. The barrier can be really tall, and there we go. But you have to get over that first if you want to go under, which is kind of annoying, but it's not a big deal once you know how to do it. Once you're over the barrier, then you can use the technique that I showed you before to go down. It may be a little bit difficult to see depending on where you're glitching, but that is the gist of it. So you just go down from that point on. You just keep going down. Eventually you're going to have to go across, and you have to make sure that you aren't too close to the edge of the top of the ground there, because if you're too close to it, when you get close enough, it'll just bring you right back up to the surface and you can't do anything. So that's why you have to be careful about the height there. So I think that we're just underground enough so that we should be safe. Okay, good. Alright, so once you're under here, you also have to think about, okay, wow, there's another barrier under there. That also happens sometimes. If you find another barrier, you just have to go down again, which, like I said, can be annoying, but you will get past it eventually. So 2 barriers, there you go. But now we're essentially under the spiral door, and that's a good example. But now let's talk about how you want to get back here. Now, I didn't actually think of putting a teleporter to go back up to the surface before I came down here. Rookie move on my part. But that is generally what you would do before starting something like this. And then all you have to do is make sure that you can put a teleporter mark to get back down here. And good, I have that in my attic because I need that. Okay, so sometimes the teleport destination, it won't let you put that in a rug that you just glitched over to a completely different area. But if that happens, you can just take any item, it doesn't matter what item, run it over the place where you're going to be putting the teleporter destination, make sure it's not red, and when it's on a spot where it's not red, right click to drop the item. It's just like if you were about to lock an item, which I covered in a previous video. And then you can put the teleporter destination wherever you want. In my case, though, like I said, I forgot to add a teleporter to go back up to the surface. And let's say you want to lock this so that it stays. In that case, you can't lock something if you're standing on it, because you just get the "you're too close to the item" message, and that's not going to work. So one trick that you can do is you can actually just glitch the item one space away from you and then lock it. Because if you do that, it means that you're just far away enough that you can still lock the item and you still have the teleporter to go back. Then you would just go to the commons or the bazaar or something and go back home, for instance. So I'm just going to go to the bazaar since I have a teleport there. And then you would go back home. And you would have your teleporter. You could also go to the character menu if you wanted. That works too. Now you have a teleporter down there. Of course, there's also the thing about adding more to it, in which case, yes, you have your Dragonspire ruins down there, but that's probably not something that you wanted for your glitch in the first place. So to go back down there, you would just do the same thing. You would just bring a platform with you, and then be far enough away from it that you can lock it, which is pretty simple. But then, when you go to pick up the Dragonspire ruins, you have to make sure that you don't just go and click and pick them up like that, because you'll pick up whatever else you just put here that is close enough to the ruins. So you have to use something else, like a small rug, or I actually prefer spirit collar drums because they're a tall furniture item that works like a rug. So you click on that, you put the smaller item on top of the bigger item that you want to get rid of, making sure it's not touching the item that you want to keep, and then you click on that, and you pick that up. And like I said, I did in fact forget about a teleporter to go back up to the surface, but that's okay because you guys at least know what to do now to get underground. And that was the purpose of my video today. But I do want to show you another example. For instance, let's say the storm house. That's a good one. Like I did say though, in some of the older houses, there aren't barriers on everything. And that can be a major advantage, especially if you can sometimes find sort of holes in the solid barriers of the house. So, in the storm house, this was one of the original houses in the game. It was released with all of the other school houses. Seriously, why am I lagging? That is annoying me, but whatever. Anyway, so in this house, you would think that there's a barrier, but there isn't. You can just glitch right over. And that's the thing about older and newer houses. Newer houses, almost all of them have barriers on the sides of everything. But some of the older houses, you just don't have to worry about it, and it's great. You can pretty much do anything. Except for, you know, some of these more solid rocks, which, well, actually, no. Okay, those are solid. But either way, for just glitching off the sides and things, it actually depends on the house you are. If it's a newer house, you're probably going to have to glitch over a barrier. Again, depending on the house, that's how tall the barrier is going to be. in the Outlaws Refuge house, the barrier was really tall because there aren't really any open space things that lead out to sky, but if I were using my Avalon Castle plot, which I decided not to use in this video because it's full of what my friend calls, quote, sophisticated recording. So I didn't use that for this video, but in that house, there's plenty of open air around it, so the barrier would be shorter. So that is my video and my basic little example of how to actually go underground, and I suppose that I will retitle this to part 2 of that video and retitle that video to part 1. And I hope that this was helpful to you guys. Alright, see you later.